It's FYF Sports, man. It's Lamont. And we are back today with some breaking news, man. Wow, this is unbelievable. Hey, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you have not done so already. And as you know, here at FYF Sports, we touch on all topics, not just topic sports related. And when I saw this story, I knew we definitely had to report on this. We know that, just a couple days ago, we just had the first presidential debate, which was probably one of the biggest debacles that we've ever seen on live TV with two presidential candidates, primarily Donald Trump. We're looking at two people who we are considering to run the country. President Trump just simply interrupted Joe Biden constantly. Nobody could get their point across. He just turned it into just a complete joke, and I just feel like, at the end of the day, when I look at those debates, the first thing I say is other countries are looking at this, just have to be laughing at the United States. It's starting to become a joke, the office of the presidency, and how President Trump just does not seem to take, things such as presidential debates very seriously. It just looked to me as if President Trump did not come prepared. He was spiteful. He took shots, and then I think he baited Joe Biden into taking some of those same shots. But that was just my take on the debate. One of the craziest things that was said during the debate when they asked President Donald Trump to, they asked him to denounce white supremacy and some of these white supremacist groups, and one of those groups was called the Proud Boys. And President Trump he stated, "Proud Boys, stand back and stand by." I think that took so many people. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, when he said that statement, and I know all of his staffers and people working on his campaign, they probably all went to the nearest unemployment office with resumes on hand, because they know that with this man running for president, they're probably not going to win when he's running around spewing rhetoric like that. But today we got the breaking news, coming off of that just ridiculous presidential debate. We had some breaking news for you guys. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna play the clip, just let you guys hear it for yourself. Then we're gonna talk about it for a quick second, because this is just completely unbelievable. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get to the clip.
And in the last few minutes, President Trump has tweeted saying that he and the First Lady have tested positive for COVID-19. Let's go straight to Los Angeles and our US correspondent, Greg Milam. Morning to you, Greg. We knew this was a possibility, but this is going to play really big in the States, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. This is a tweet 5 to 1 in the morning in Washington, and that tweet from the president saying we will get through this together. But you're right, that it's been coming in the last couple of hours, and I can take you through what happened. Excuse me. Hope Hicks, who's one of the closest, if not the closest advisor to Donald Trump, was confirmed a few hours ago as having tested positive for COVID-19. Now, she has been traveling with the president throughout this week. She was on that trip to Cleveland in Ohio for the presidential debate on Tuesday. She was with him on a trip to a rally in Minnesota on Wednesday. Now, on that trip to Minnesota, she'd had a test. She was found to be negative before traveling. She began to feel unwell on the trip and quarantined on the plane back. She'd been on Air Force One and Marine One with the president. She tested positive when she got back, and that was on Wednesday night. And as a result of that, in the last few hours, the president confirmed that he and the First Lady had been tested for COVID-19. They were, in his words, beginning the quarantine process, and they expected the result in the next few hours. And that result is what we've just got back in the last few minutes. What's interesting is that the White House knew that Hope Hicks was positive on Wednesday night, Washington time. But still, the president went ahead yesterday with the visit to his golf course in New Jersey, in Bedminster. That was for a fundraiser. So even though they knew he'd been in close contact with someone who had tested positive, that trip was allowed to go ahead. And it's only in the last few hours that quarantine process has begun, and that will be a 14-day quarantine process. We wait to hear from the White House what the protocol is. Now, under guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control, you would assume the president is considered an essential worker, so he will be able to continue to do his job from the White House. You would imagine, although there is the possibility that the Vice President, Mike Pence, will be able to step in. But all of this, of course, in an election campaign, and events planned for the next few days and weeks as he seeks re-election. This is a real bombshell from a man, of course, who has always downplayed his own vulnerability to this virus.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, this is going to bring back all the things that he said right at the beginning of all of this, isn't it? I mean, even down to him claiming at one point that this was all just a hoax. I mean, in terms of the presidential campaigning and what the Democrats and those Republicans who are against Trump are going to say, I mean, this gives them almost an open goal, doesn't it?
Man, okay, so we're going to stop it right there, man. I just really wanted you guys to get a breakdown of the story. I think this news staff did a really good job of breaking down the timeline and some of the things that occurred since they were aware of his potential link to the virus. Again, as they stated, they were aware that the First Lady had tested positive. He had already been in close proximity with her, as opposed to quarantining, as many doctors recommend you do. He went to a golf course at an event at a golf course. I mean, this president did the recklessness, the reckless behavior, and again, this is, as I was told earlier, and I completely agree, this is 100% karma. The fact that, I mean, when you play with fire and when you play with just karma in general, early on when this pandemic came about, he compared it to the flu. Well, I mean, now he has an opportunity to find out firsthand if this virus is similar to the flu, and when he can come back and he can explain to us how he felt during that 2-week quarantine process. But for me, especially after some of the things that we've seen him do, and say, my biggest problem with President Trump is not necessarily some of his policies. It's really his leadership. He's not a very good leader when we're dealing with the most impactful and strongest country in the world. And if he's the leader of this country, nothing good can happen. And the fact that as the leader of this country, he did not take something as serious as this particular virus. He didn't take it seriously at all. Now he's contracted it. He didn't take wearing a mask seriously. And if he didn't take wearing a mask seriously, then you can only assume that he didn't take some of the other protocols seriously, such as using hand sanitizers, such as not shaking hands so much with random people. And now we're in this particular situation right here. So, at the end of the day, I don't want to speak on this too long. You guys know it. The story is what it is. Again, it could be karma coming back. At the end of the day, FYF Sports only has one thing to say to President Trump. Our statement to President Trump is, we wish you well. For now, Mr. Trump, it's just time for you to stand back and stand by in quarantine. All right, stand back and stand by in quarantine. All right, and just eat this karma. Just eat this karma over the next couple of weeks. But that's all we got to say. But hey, it's been a great podcast video. Crazy news, man, out of the White House today, man. You guys, let me know what you think about this subject. What do you think about the president of the United States and the First Lady both testing positive for the Rona? Testing positive for the Rona, man. It's just crazy news out of the White House today. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to the video if you have not done so already. Again, we're going to be coming out with these videos at any given time. Again, we touch on all topics, and I would love to hear from everybody on this particular topic right here. Again, so don't hold back. The comment sections will be open. Really would love your input, because at the end of the day, we're all in America. We're all in this situation. And it's not just about talking sports all the time, man. This is, you know, dealing with the presidency, dealing with some of these political issues. These issues must be spoken about. The presidential debates must be taken seriously this year, and I think all of our subscribers have a responsibility to really take note of that. And again, I want to hear you guys chime in on this topic. But a great video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But it's FYF Sports, and we're out.